All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So I was in the T-Mobile store today and had a question about. I'm picking up another LG G5. I'm going back to the T-Mobile variant. Reason being, I found out, if you remember in my channel update video, I talked about how my G5 just conked out on me. And basically what it was the Verizon version is unlocked. It does work on T-Mobile. I used it, calls, texts, everything works, internet. But what happened is, it was searching for signal a lot. So it was draining the battery dramatically. So that is the reason why my G5 conked out on me so quickly on my trip. Because my T-Mobile G5s, I didn't have any problem with them on battery. They were actually fantastic on battery. But that's just a side note for you if you decide to pick up an unlocked, if you decide to pick up the LG G5 and use it on T-Mobile or any other carrier. You might run into battery issues or signal, really searching for signal at all times. I ran into problems with my G5 for Verizon using it on T-Mobile because of the signal. It was so much searching for signal so much that it just drained the battery. I would have it in my pocket and sometimes I'd pull it out and it would have no service. But then after I take it out of my pocket, it would get service again. So, it wasn't made for T-Mobile, but it is unlocked, and it did work on T-Mobile. Everything worked like normal. Just in some instances, it would conk out on signal, and it would be searching for signal. Nonetheless, I go into a T-Mobile store today, and I'm talking about jump on demand. I thought, maybe, I'll save some money and I'll do a jump on demand with the G5. Or at the recording of this video on, I think today is April 25th. The G5 is actually $569. So in store it's not $569, and on Jump on Demand it's still $629. But if you want to do regular EIP, you can grab the G5 through T-Mobile as of April 25th for $569.99. So I got to talking about Jump on Demand with the lady, and she said, well, Jump on Demand doesn't exist anymore. It hasn't been in effect for 2 months now. And I was like, wait, what? Turns out T-Mobile silently is phasing this out. They discontinued it 2 months ago. Excuse me. So some of you might say, well, Jay, I just did a Jump on Demand and I did several of them. Well, here's the catch. If you've already used Jump on Demand before, they have somehow, it's in your account and you'll always be able to use it until they completely phase it out. Or I asked the lady specifically, I said, hey, how does this rule work with the Jump on Demand? She said, if you're on Jump on Demand and you don't do any jumps and you complete your lease, you don't jump 3 times in a year, and you complete your lease, it's over for you. You can't go back and do it again. So that's how they're going to phase it out. And if you're not on Jump on Demand, you can't get it. If you've never used Jump on Demand, you won't be able to get it, is what I was told. And you can verify this at your local T-Mobile store, or you can call T-Mobile from the 800 number, and they'll probably confirm it for you. I had only used Jump on Demand. I think I did it once. And so that's why I'm able to do it again, but I'm probably not going to do it. I'm probably just going to get the G5 for the $569.99. I think that's a fantastic deal. The only issue is that you have to get that discounted price, you have to put it on EIP. And, I guess I could save some money, but I'd rather just pay it off. I like my bill to be what it is. So I'll start the EIP and then, just pay the balance and get rid of it. Nonetheless, Jump on Demand is over, and they told me it was over for about 2 months now. And I posted this on Google Plus, and one person chimed in and said, oh yeah, I knew that already. I don't think a lot of people know this. I hadn't heard anything about it. But if you've already used Jump on, there's some pros though. If you've already used Jump on Demand, you'll continue to use it until you complete a lease. So let's just say you're on Jump on Demand right now. The HTC 10 comes out, you jump to it. Depending on how many jumps you have left, once you get to your 3rd jump, and then you're gonna have to complete that lease. So you complete that lease, no more Jump on Demand for you. And so I don't have any Jump on Demands right now, so I'll be able to do 3 of them because I walked into the store. But the problem is I don't want to get the Jump on Demand for the G5 because I'm going to pay the $630. So I'm just going to do regular EIP, get it for the discounted price, and then pay it off. And just call it a day. I might do Jump on Demand for something else, but I've used it on my account. So until they phase it out, she told me the options are still there for almost all the customers who's used it before. So they are phasing out Jump on Demand, and they've been doing it for the last 2 months. I had no idea that this wasn't an option anymore because I think we have, on one of our accounts, we have an iPhone 6s Plus on Jump on Demand. I actually forgot it was on Jump on Demand. We've had it since the launch, but that thing's almost paid for. But the rest of the iPhones are not on there, and they're good to go. But wow, I didn't know they were phasing out Jump on Demand. Shout out in the comments if you knew that they were going to phase out Jump on Demand, or they were doing it, because there were no announcements about this that I've seen. And I follow John Legere and T-Mobile and T-Mobile Help. Anything dealing with T-Mobile, I'm following it, and I haven't heard anything about it. There was no news conference. There was nothing. So they snuck this one under the rug on us and pulled out Jump on Demand. And I think what happened is they bit off more than they could chew. You've got Jump on Demand, and you're allowing a customer to do this, exchange your phone 3 times in a year. Some people really took advantage of this more than likely, because I asked the limits on this, and they said you can walk out of the store and a couple hours later people come back in and do a jump. That's kind of silly when they can do an exchange, but they don't want a $50 restocking fee, so they were allowing people to jump. But even if they weren't doing it that way, if they're doing it Jump on Demand every month, they do it for as they're supposed to. T-Mobile has to recycle these phones. They're not making much money off of these. Let's just say a customer does do it this way. They're right after their 2-week period. So T-Mobile hasn't even gotten a payment for that device yet. So they go ahead, they do the Jump on Demand, and then they made no money off of that phone. Then they get a new one, and then they do it again every 2 weeks until their 3 jumps are over, and then that's it. So how does that work for T-Mobile? Well, they've just lost a ton of money because they have to recertify these devices and try to sell them as recertified. So they lose money there. They're not making much money at all with the Jump on Demand program. It's great for customers, but people are not. People are going to blow straight through that. So that's probably why they phased it out. But just a quick video on Jump on Demand. It is no longer available. It was phased out. They began phasing it out about 2 months ago. So there you have it. It's your man Jay Will. If you knew about this, shout out in the comments, because I had no idea until I went to the store today to talk about it with a rep. So I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for more reviews and updates and news and everything else. Take care.